Hey everybody, welcome, and today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite YouTubers, Rick Beato. I think there is something to be said for today's music and music in the future. And in fact, each generation, I think he is missing one critical element by focusing so much on the interesting aspects of the music, the harmony, the rhythms, things like that. He focuses quite a bit on harmony and chord progressions. You know, is today's music less complex, less interesting, less sophisticated than the music of the 70s, of the 60s, of the 80s? 70s was a golden period of pop music, singer-songwriter, rock, that was sort of at a peak. These genres just don't die. They change. They go through peaks and valleys. And they get a little boring. And then somebody comes along and shakes things up. And sometimes they go a little off track. Sometimes it veers a little off center. Every generation, regardless of the quality of the music, how good is the music, from that era, if we look back on it, can we say there was some great music of whatever type? Regardless of how you objectively talk about and think about the music of a particular period and a particular genre, that's the music of that generation. For me, I've been thinking about a lot. I think each generation, regardless of what other generations may think of their music, and generally the attitude is, oh, this music, our music was great, your music is crap, right? That's quite a common sentiment that I hear, I'm exaggerating, obviously. I'm picking out, extreme statements, that people may make. But there's a general attitude, right, between generations. I don't get it. It doesn't sound like music, right? That generation, that's their music. Regardless of how you may objectively quantify it or feel about it, it's their music. And you can't really hold it against them. Anytime you talk about that music from the outside, not having grown up with it, your perspective is going to be different, and you really can't see it the same way. And I think these people that are growing up with this music, they just need to experience that music as their own and nobody else's, right? Because there can only be that one time, that one generation grows up with their music. It's this generation's music, like right now, that's happening. And nobody's going to see it the same way. So I think that's something that's good to keep in mind. The goal is for all of us, is to welcome people and not make them feel excluded or judged in a way that might create distance between them. So I think there's a danger in saying, oh, this or that is boring to music that's coming out right now. But I think it's also really important to never forget that no matter how good or bad, however you want to say it, right, the music that's coming out today is, and there's always a lot of garbage music, right, that's going to come out, and we're going to figure it about just like we did in the decade past and the decade before that. We remember the great stuff, right? And forget about all the stuff that wasn't so great. That happens, and that's going on right now. Again, I think, yes, it has to do with the quality of the music, the construction of the music, the creativity of the music, but it also has to do with your experience of the music. And also, I'd like to add, I think there's fantastic music coming out right now. I think there's some things going on in music and creativity with the tools and technology that are available that have never been seen before. There's just way too much mediocre music coming out, but I think there's also some really, really fantastic, original, and groundbreaking music that's coming out right now. And a lot of it's coming out from people that are making music in home studios in their bedrooms, with their devices, with their instruments, and putting it out there. So I think it's a fantastic time for music. So I think I'm going to say, if you haven't checked out Rick Beato's channel, go ahead and check it out. I think you're going to like it. He's got lots of great content. Go look through his back catalog of videos, fantastic stuff there. And don't be intimidated by some of the music theory stuff. If you really want to learn about it, you can. I started about 4 years ago, and when I first started watching it, I was just overwhelmed. I felt like it was like taking a drink from a fire hose, like someone said. But now I actually am I've over time I've actually started to make some sense out of it, and I still don't understand all of it, but I get a lot out of it. It's a really great channel, great content. I'm going to also talk about some other great YouTubers that talk about music and music analysis, music theory, making music, all sorts of stuff like that on this channel. So look for it, and there'll be more videos coming your way. Take care. Bye.